Attention! We do accept super chats and memberships. All money earned goes directly back into the channel to allow for more giveaway, prizes, and perks for our viewers and listeners. The cost of running shows like this can be expensive and timely, but we do it for you. If you can help support the channel, we greatly appreciate it. But if you can't, all we ask is use your social media to share and support. We love you and thank you in advance. We'd also like to mention all of our channel members. We have Saggy Melons, Benson, Resident Justice, For Cross Swain, DC Talk with Extended, That One Carlos, Caden Reed, Nick Carr, John Rodell, Justin Hines, Billy Robert, Adam Silvestri, Kinky Sphincter, Sean Adame, Nick De Palma, and Roblox Marvel Ultimate. And don't forget, folks, if you are an existing member or if you become a new member, you will be eligible to receive a free copy of Zack Snyder's Justice League on Blu-ray. So if you're not a member yet and you would like a copy, sign up and Tyler will be giving it away very, very soon. And always, remember, be respectful. Boy, whoever read that intro, I couldn't have done it better myself. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and genders of all ages, to today's episode of Jivin with Jack. I do not have my man bag with me, but I found my sunglasses, so that's always a plus. Folks, to clarify, if you become a member, or you're already a member, you have a chance to win a copy of Zack Snyder's Justice League on Blu-ray. It's supposed to be a September giveaway, so I don't know if we're going to announce it today. We may, but it's not too late to become a member for as low as $2.99. Think about it, $2.99 and a chance to win a Blu-ray? That's nothing. Well, we have a lot to talk about today. We're going to talk about the reviews for Venom are actually better than I thought they were going to be, but they're all kind of saying the same thing. Then we're also going to touch on what Robert Pattinson has to say about DC fandom and what we may expect from the Batman. Next up, we're also going to talk about Britney Spears and Rocky IV, the best Rocky movie, is getting a director's cut because that's what America wants. More Rocky IV. 40 minutes more of Rocky IV. But I'm going to be joined a little bit later by the creator. You may even call him Tyler, the creator. But he's running a little bit late, so I'm going to be joined by our esteemed and venerable producer, Mr. Caden Reed.
What's up?
How you doing, Caden?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. How have you been?
I've been, chilling, doing
Chilling.
good.
Yeah. So
reading up on
you kind of predicted that, like, because these reviews for Venom are coming so close to the release date, chances are the studio isn't too,
Yeah, because that's generally what happens when studios do it like a day or two in advance of the actual movie releasing.
Yeah.
They don't have much faith in it. They just like, oh, let's get out now. So then people are like bombarded with it, and then they'll be like, oh, okay, this is coming out this weekend. Cool.
Yeah.
Like, it like from the reviews, it seems like a general popcorn flick. Something that
Let's say hi real quick to everyone here. I love Jivin with Jack. Thank you, Billy. Adam, how are you? Benson, thank you for the comments. I always love it. I hope you got more R. Kelly jokes. Prakash is here. Whoa. And Tyler Roberts is asking who made that beautiful backdrop. I believe Caden made this backdrop.
Yeah, I think I did.
Yeah, Ty saw Venom too, so we're going to get his thoughts on it. Obviously, we're going to keep it spoiler-free. Last time Austin sounded different today, and Tyler is too. Yeah, man.
Yeah,
I think this might be an upgrade for Tyler.
Yep, it's like Freaky Friday, you know.
Exactly.
Freaky
But
Tuesday, Freaky
Nick
Thursday.
Carr, how are you? Real quick, guys, keep Austin in your thoughts and prayers. He's been a little bit sick. Well, he's been pretty sick. It's actually, it's not fatal or anything, but he's been pretty sick, and he has not been able to do Lean on Me, Jiving with Jack, or any of the other shows, the Wednesday panel. So keep your thoughts. Hopefully, by Monday, he will be back, and Lean on Me will be back. Jiving with Jack will be normal again, and we can enjoy this new backdrop that I am now officially saying Caden created. The Caden backdrop. Look how good that is. So so earlier today when I was working on the show, this is where the Rotten Tomatoes score was at. And I know we all say Rotten Tomatoes doesn't matter, but it does matter. Not because I say, but because people do look at it. And look, the first one scored rotten. This one is scoring slightly better. But I'm told that you have the updated score pulled up. Is that right, Caden?
Yeah.
All right. So it dropped
right here with 64%. It went up to, like, I think the highest it went to recently was 76, and then it dropped drastically. Like, because reviews are coming in, it's like the first day of reviews, but then again, it's the first day of reviews the day before the movie comes out, and usually generally by the day after the reviews come out, what the percentage is. But right now,
you think this is going to probably drop and continue to drop?
It's probably going to continue to drop, and like it'll be like a bumpy road, but then like it'll be like a hill drop.
Where do you think it ends? Like in the 50s, the 40s, or do you think it stays in the 60s?
I think it'll stick into the late 50s and early 60s. Late 50s, early 60s.
Late 50s, early 60s. Well, maybe.
So like it'll probably stay here. Actually, it might even stay like it might go down and up, but then it might land back at 64, 65.
Yeah. Do you remember when Wonder Woman 1984 came out? When it first came out, like the very first like few hours, it was like 90 something, and then that dropped.
That dropped like 25%, and then it went up another 5%. It was like it went down like majorly, and it went up. It was like whoop 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 whoop, like a roller coaster.
Yeah.
Just like.
So, Ty's going to tell us his thoughts once he joins us. But let's scroll down. I'm kind of curious, what the critics are saying. Let's go down. Here we go. So here we go. Top critic, John Olin, something very Polish. Sitting at Venom, let there be carnage. You quietly ask yourself, what have I done wrong? Is God punishing me?
Oh, God. And then this one says, the character of Venom is neither funny nor scary, and he's one of the least compelling comic book characters going.
Ooh, damn. Get him.
Look at Grace Ranoff here. Our lovely friend Grace Ranoff. First Venom was a fun surprise, but this is just more of the same. And credits is the most exciting about the movie. That says a lot. Hardy is still great. I mean, that's coming a lot from Grace, too.
Yeah. And she's usually kind of, Benson gave $5.
Ooh.
Could the person, there we go. Person hiding Jack's handbag, please return it. He hides his tears and sadness with sunglasses. Ma, where's the meatloaf? Still sunny side. You know what? Where is it? Hold on. There it is. Hold on. Woo. There we go.
For Benson's only.
For Benson. You know what, Benson? I did promise I'd show you what's in here. So here we go. In the back, I got my weightlifting gloves and a lock and napkins and stuff like that in the back right here. All right. So that's that. That's the back. I'm going to show you guys since you all want to know what's in my handbag. My mask is in the left pocket.
Batman mask.
A Batman mask. I asked my mom, "Where's my Batman mask?" She's like, "I didn't know you had a Batman mask." She thought I meant like the actual Batman mask. Like, no, Mom. And I have a pink rosary because no one else wants to use it, so I keep my rosary in my far right pocket. Well, technically, it's on my left when I wear it. Okay. Top right here. What do we got? Nothing in here. Over here, we got chapstick and nasal decongestant. Very important. You know.
I think.
Always help before a date.
a backpack or any shortage on backpacks or chapstick.
Okay, now I'm not done. I got more pockets.
Oh, he's
I'm making sure Benson gets his. That's £5. That's like close to like $9 probably. In here, I got my wallet with my credit cards and my vaccine card laminated, which I don't know what I'm going to do if I have to get a booster once the president mandates it. In here, I got nothing. And then in here, gentlemen, spare cartridges for vaping, gum, also for a date, spare Apple iPhone charger, and always.
Yes, necessary needs.
Boom! Axe body spray. I guess it's kind of like a love bag, a man bag, like.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen a movie called Can't Hardly Wait? It's arguably like the most underrated teen movie, but in it, what's his name? Seth Green. Seth Green, he's hilarious, and he's a virgin, right? And so what he does, he has a bag with him with like the Kama Sutra and stuff like that. And so when a girl finally decides to hook up with him, he goes to the bathroom. He's like practicing the Kama Sutra like in the mirror.
Oh my god!
I do not have the Kama Sutra in my bag, just to let you know. But Benson, I hope you enjoyed that tour. And there's another bucket, but I can't show you what's in there.
Top critics are saying,
the car gave 99 cents. There we go. Thank you, Nick. And probably Vaseline.
Probably Vaseline. That's the chapstick.
That's the chapstick. There we go.
CNN said, a mind-numbing, tiresome sequel filled with uninspired comedy and CGI monster fight that seems to drag on forever.
Ooh, ouch. Let's see what Katie Walsh says. Doesn't have that sense of joyful discovery and gleeful mischief that the first film did, but it's obviously now a comedy on purpose. But the Venom-Eddie dynamic remains the best buddy action comedy going these days. So that's interesting that they're saying that they like the first one better.
Yeah, everyone said they like the first one better, even though the first one is.
Yeah. Go ahead, Kate. You pick the next one.
It's short, cheap looking, and maybe made for 8-year-olds. Ooh, that's not good. It's only fun if your idea of fun is being screamed at by a demon voice while staring at a mimish of the special effects for an hour and some change. I remember seeing someone say on Twitter that it was basically about the whole 8-year-olds. If you don't want to think about anything, like at all, watch this movie. Like if you want to be brainless and watch a movie, this is a movie for you. I'm like,
is it true that this movie's only 90 minutes?
It's 97 minutes.
When was the last time a movie that short came out? Even comedies now are like 2 hours. Wow.
Yeah, like majority of movies come out now, like that in theaters, are like 100 minutes plus.
Yeah, I mean, like even the James Bond movie, the new one, is 2 hours and 43 minutes. I'm like, damn, this is not Avengers Endgame.
No. It definitely sounds like one of those things where it's like you have Carnage, you have Toxin possibly, and you have Shriek, and you have 3 new characters that you're introducing, new concepts you're introducing, and then you have 90 minutes to do that. It's like it like like they're saying the only good thing about the movie is the end credits.
Yeah.
Like knowing what the end credit scene is, I'm like, yeah, that sounds like that thing, and one other thing that they do in the movie. But other than that, it seems like a lackluster film. It doesn't seem like it's gonna.
Yeah, I mean, Ben just says nobody cares. But don't say that, man. Dude, Ty is like the biggest Grace Randolph fan. He has posters of her. I'm not joking. He literally printed out. He went to like Office Max or Staples, printed out a giant picture of her, laminated it, and framed it. I'm gonna ask him about it when he comes. Ask him about his Grace Randolph poster. He loves her so much.
He's like, here's my Grace Randolph poster. No,
it is Endgame for Craig. By the way, Ty's account has been hacked, so whoever it is writing these things,
whoever has taken over Ty's account, we don't know who they they yeah.
Yeah.
But Barry Hurt
It
says,
is an end game for Craig. I
dumb,
thought
not
this was clever.
good dumb, but the film was a throwaway kind of trashy nothingness. Like,
Ooh.
that's just a not so marvelous sequel. It's like plain and simple, not so marvelous. Like, Rolling
A
Stone.
sequel? Hold on a second. What was it? Leah. I just saw. Where'd it go?
Leah Greenblatt.
Greenblatt. There we go. A sequel whose title
is
both the promise and the
God.
premise in its entirety. Okay,
Is it because he says
here's the
they've
thing.
Carnage like 5 times in the movie?
How about this
If it's
though?
because of that,
How's that
then-
positive, but it has a C plus? Like if you got a C plus, I don't get that.
Like a C plus isn't like failing, but it also isn't. It's barely passing. Like
Yeah, I mean, a C plus. I'm trying to remember from high school. Was
Los
that like
Angeles
you scored in the
Times
70s
and-
out of 10? Robert Daniels, Touching Wild Entertainment. John DeFore, top critic for Hollywood Reporter. Though it will please most of the fans of the 2018 first installment, Carnage proves that superhero fatigue applies to non-heroes as well. Ooh. Benjamin Lee. Austin, read, or I guess I called you Austin. Caden, read that one. Benjamin Lee.
A pile of monster mush that should have been left in the lab. Yes,
Ouch.
like as the TASM 2 scene with the villain room should have been cut as well, because it's just dumb and stupid why Richard Parker and Norman Osborn will have a safety program for Richard Parker's son becoming Spider-Man. It's like this whole thing is like he had a contingency plan for his own son becoming Spider-Man. Stupid. Like, and
That's insane. Everybody knows most of these are Snyder and DC fans. No, these are top critics. We're not reading the fan reviews yet.
No,
These are
top
critics. Yeah, the top critics. So these aren't like the YouTubers like me. Oh, I guess Grace Randolph is considered a top critic. Damn.
Yeah.
And here are the fan reviews.
Audience. These are audiences.
Let there be. This is an absolute banger.
I think that was like, okay, if you're a fan of the actual Venom character, you'll hate this movie. Just like you should hate the first one. Venom's not some goofy slapstick comic character. He's brutal, angry, terrifying, and violent. He's Spider-Man's most feared enemy. It took Carnage to enter this fold. Versus the movie also does terribly wrong by leaving it PG-13. Thank you, Sony, for ruining one of the most beloved popular Oh God, this person's mad.
This person's mad.
Hollywood cannot make a good movie anymore. Just boring and punchlines and fall flat.
See, to touch on this, Prakash, you were talking about how like everything's kind of becoming jokey because the MCU. Remember, this is not MCU, folks. Does it well. That like everyone's like, all right, they did it with Joss Whedon. They're like, oh, let's make Justice League kind of funny and punchliney. Let's make Carnage. Maybe, I think Prakash maybe had a point there. They're trying to make it too jokey. Hey, Adam Silvestri.
It's one of the best Marvel movies ever. Okay, Ethan, I lost your opinion. Your opinion does not.
Yeah, it's either like it's so weird how a movie like this either gets like 5 stars or 1 star. Like you'll rarely see 2.5.
It's like it gets all these bad reviews.
Yeah,
and then there's like 1 or 2 good ones that are saying this is the best movie ever, not elaborating on anything. And that's kind of when you know it's like, is it really someone that's seen the movie, or is this person who's just like, let's add something good,
Yeah, I'm kind of curious how this guy see it. I mean, I guess technically you could see it tonight in the United States.
Well, they probably went to see it at the fan events.
Oh, the fan event. All right. So all critics, here we go. Common Sense Media. With poorly chosen comedy moments that consist mainly of shouting and action elements that are mainly noise and smashing, this sequel misses every chance to come together in a satisfying way. Ooh, a lot of 2s, a lot of 2.5s.
Yeah, 2. Yeah. It's I think the highest, out of like, which has given them this was a 3.5, as you can see, or like a 7 out of 10, which is again that's a C, so it's like C and below. I see all of. So I think the cinema score, that like the fan cinema scores that like they do where they survey people throughout the weekend, I think it might be a C plus.
Yikes! I'm going to go on IMDb and see if there's like a rating yet, because people can start rating the movie immediately. Yeah. And of course, IMDb is not the greatest place, but sometimes it gives you kind of a snapshot. Like For some reason, IMDb is really slow on here. So has it getting out? Okay, it's at 7. Okay, it only has 981 ratings, and it's at 7.8 out of 10. So, which is interesting. Oh, Grace Gandalf. Grace Gandalf. I don't know if that was intentional, but that made me laugh. Grace Gandalf is DC biased. Check the rest and you'll find the same. She is. She is. But you know what? She actually, I think, really helped the Snyder movement. Not by starting or anything, but just by having her talk about it a lot, and talking to Zach. Apparently, Zach likes her. I got to admit that, you know,
all
she
about the views. Zach wants the press and the views from Grace.
Grace,
that's
but
like, it's a very smart tactic, you know. Like, Grace has a huge audience, and by her bringing Zach on and by Zach going on there, one, it gets her audience to Zach's, and then Zach's audience to her. So it's like it's mutual, symbiotic relationship, a business relationship.
A business relationship. Very good. But are you going to see Venom this weekend?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's how I feel too. I literally I've been going to the movies a lot recently. So last weekend I saw Escape Room 2, which was basically kind of like it's over. I enjoyed it. It's like a Saw kind of a ripoff. But this weekend I saw that this is coming out. That I'm like, is there anything else out? And apparently no, there's nothing else out.
Like the other thing is that one of the posters, it had JIVIN on it. It had the silhouettes of like the symbiotes versions of them or the powered versions, whatever. The silhouette they used for the poster was a ripoff of someone's art on a site. So like people were like, they just stole art from like someone. I'm not sure if Ty's already.
That was okay. Ty.
But yeah.
Well, I do want to hear from Ty because I think Ty's here. Oh no, he needs 5 minutes. Never mind. I was just like, look at Ty's here. Oh no, he's not. So we got to rant for 5 more minutes. But go ahead.
Yeah, it's a movie that I'm just like, do I really need to see this? Like,
I was kind of hoping
I've seen the post-credit scene. I've read the whole plot description. I don't like.
Have you ever? Can you think of film franchises where the first one was not good, but then the second one became amazing? Like I was kind of hoping for that kind of situation with this one, where the first one sucked. Well, the Suicide Squad. That's a good example where the first one was really bad and the second one is actually really good.
I mean, there is quite a few, but like mainstream, no. Like mainstream to the point where like every single person knows, no. But I think, there's definitely some that have
where the sequel kind of Evil Dead 2 I think is up there. I think Evil Dead 2 has a huge fan base.
Yeah.
Not that the first one's bad, but like
even though I'll say this, even though Spider-Man is really good, Spider-Man 2, people have always put Spider-Man 2 above.
Oh yeah.
So that's another one. That even though Spider-Man 2002 is really good, Spider-Man 2 is sometimes majority over 2002. So that's.
I'm trying to think. Justin is a contrarian. My friend Justin, I think he's a contrarian. Like he just likes to, if everyone hated the new Suicide Squad movie, he would be like, it was amazing. He'd be like, it was amazing.
And,
sorry.
Yeah, but the one thing, again, I think I don't expect any movie to be like Citizen Kane or something like that. But I also don't expect movies to be as bad as Dark Phoenix or Justice League.
Yeah. Benson is saying, guys, it's a comic book movie, just a bit of fun. But see, I wouldn't. Why listen to these moronic reviewers? We're just killing time until Ty gets here. Honestly, he's here. He's in the back. Someone shoot the Goodfellas. You know what? I'm not saying it has to be Goodfellas, but I would like to see more movies where there's a sense of intellectualism. Do I need it in Shang-Chi? Yeah. Not really. That's what Zach did with Watchmen, or what the Wachowskis did with V for Vendetta. I would like to have also those types of comic book movies that I can kind of think about and pour my mind into.
there's a good comparison between, like, in 2019 you had Joker, and then you also had Captain Marvel: Far From Home. You know,
Yeah,
there's
exactly.
two movies that you didn't really have to think about and to enjoy. You know, you can enjoy them, and you don't have to like think like crazy.
Yeah,
You know, but then you have
and
Joker, which makes you
Joker's.
think about
Yeah,
society and crazy stuff. It's like, whoa, like that's a
yeah,
good balance. You know, you have two cool, nonsensical, enjoyable comic book movies, and one that's like also very enjoyable and also very crazy and raunchy. Um,
yeah, exactly.
so that's a nice balance between.
Here's
Uh,
what's funny. There's a lot of intellectualism in comic books going back decades. Everyone talks about the
oh
Dark
yeah,
Knight Returns. They're not talking about how the Dark Knight Returns, like The Watchmen, like V for Vendetta, was very much a commentary on 80s conservatism, whether it was Thatcherism in the UK
yeah,
or whether it was Reagan's capitalism, Reaganomics. There's a lot of that going on in those comic books. And that's why they were so great. I mean, you literally have Reagan meeting Superman and be like, go kill Batman. Um,
right.
and it seems the audiences either aren't ready for that or they don't want that. I'm not saying like freaking Ant-Man has to be like that, but like at least it seems that with Batman they tend to do that. Like The Dark Knight,
Yeah,
definitely. Batman Begins, even, they kind of play
that's
with.
like one of the reasons why I'm really anticipating the Eternals, because like they did a big interview today, and
Yeah.
they said like the whole cast and crew like the whole cast like they like were like, oh, like the interview asked every single one of them like separately like, why did you sign up for this movie? And they're all like, oh, the way that Chloe pitched it to us and the script.
uh,
So I was like, oh, like they all love the script and they all like the way that she pitched it to them. And then you have people who are also like Francis McDormand, Denis Villeneuve, who's like, oh yeah, I'm looking forward to Eternals because of Chloe Zhao's, filmography, The Writer, and Nomadland. So it's like, okay, like it's like,
can I just
hmm,
say something, Adam? Caden is not about that bass. He's all about the treble.
all about that, all, all about that bass, all up, no
Um,
trouble.
Marlon writes, I actually find most of their viewers and casual fans enjoy comic book films more. The frat bro community usually make the rules as to which one is the better or worse movie. Like, I still stand by that the best comic book movie I've seen this year was Zack Snyder's Justice League. And again, the plot is pretty straightforward, but it's done with style and visuals. And I wish I would, and again, that's not, I'm going to say that's an intellectual movie, but I would like to see a little bit more of that in Marvel, and we'll see with the Eternals. So I might go see Venom this Saturday, and I'm going to depend on the review of the next man. I call him Tyler the Creator. He is the creator of Pop Culture Corner, and he will be replacing Austin today along with Caden. So let's bring in Tyler, Big TY, always fly. There he
You got a
is.
lot, you got a lot of feedback on your thing today.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But yeah, man, I saw Venom. I mean, I wasn't a fan, like too big of a fan of the first. Like, I liked the first one. I think someone said earlier is you need to like um, temper your expectations.
Mm-hmm.
In the sense that it is a comic book movie, and
Yeah.
and it doesn't need to be Goodfellas. I believe is what he
Yeah.
said.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's the way I feel with Venom and these Sony movies, is that they seem to have relied on the first one's success and
Yeah.
try to almost do it like a carbon copy, where they kept the same plot points, tonal shifts, and everything like that. There wasn't anything really new. Yeah, it was fun. It was visually pleasing. It was a it was a fun ride from start to finish,
Mm-hmm.
but it didn't move the dial.
Okay.
If
Well,
that makes sense.
I'm reading it's about 90 minutes. Did it feel like a short movie? I can't remember the
Oh
last time
my
a comic book
god.
movie was that short.
Yeah, Venom 1.
Was Venom one that short?
Yeah,
Ah,
it was like I that's the thing too, is I felt like the first one was so rushed.
yeah.
Like you were rushing through the film. And this one too, I felt like I was rushing through it or being rushed through in order to get to the next action sequence, to the next
Benson thinks you need bigger headphones.
Yeah, these are almost like $180. So
Yeah, those are high end. That stuff is
Yeah.
fun. Benson's kind of becoming like
well, Benson always has something to fucking say. So
yeah, he always has something to say.
Right.
He's always pushing the edge. Sadly, Reagan thought he was Batman with his Parkinson's.
probably.
Yeah, he did have Parkinson's. I know he was getting dementia. Yeah, he did get Parkinson's. Venom 2 is I thought the first Venom
was
movie
2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Ugh. It felt like 20 minutes of terribleness. I think it was more or less like how it felt. I felt like I was being rushed through it.
Yeah. Do you think they purposely? Here's what I think happened. This is probably a longer movie, and they're like, okay, are we Sony going to do what HBO Max has done and what Disney is doing with these dual releases? No, we're going to put it only in theaters. Okay, if we have a 2-hour version of this movie, we're going to lose money because of the situation with COVID, because of people not going back to the theaters. So how can we make our money back? Well, what we could do is take it from 2 hours, make it about 90 minutes so we can play more times in a theater, and maybe we can make some more money that way.
Yeah.
And that's probably what happened. Because I saw the interviews with Andy Serkis. It seemed like he was putting his heart and soul into this. And to see all these kind of like mediocre reactions, I'm wondering if there is an extended cut of this movie that was better.
There probably is, honestly.
90 minutes. I can't remember the last time a comic book movie was that short.
There's no way
Even Joss Whedon's movie was 2 hours. As bad as it was still 2 hours.
Yeah. There's always I guarantee there's a like the rough cut was around 2 hours, and then the studio was probably like, no, we can chop this out, doing what studios do best.
Yeah. And
maybe if they left that part in, maybe if they left those parts in, it could have been a little bit better.
I mean, sometimes I think a lot of comic book movies, especially the MCU, for me, the action isn't always a selling point because the action is kind of stuff happening. It's like stuff happening, But where Marvel solves it is in its characters, the small moments. Like in Shang-Chi was the moment with Shang-Chi and his father, him and Awkwafina, those little moments, like even in Black Widow, I thought the best parts were the family talking to each other, the dad talking to the other daughter, she was like, I really thought you were my dad. And for you to say that it was just a job, like to me, moments like that, even in Iron Man 2, my favorite scene in Iron Man 2 is when Tony is watching the video of his father and his dad is talking to him. And he says, my greatest accomplishment is you. Like, it's actually a really nice scene. I'm like, so then when you do have like the sloppy endings with stuff happening and explosions and CGI, it's almost
there's
okay because of moments like that,
Yeah, there's the heart and soul, there's those feelings of like this movie isn't just an action movie. It's got a soul, and I really do love that. I love that.
Yeah, exactly.
Venom doesn't have that, by the way.
Venom doesn't have that, I'm guessing. Yeah.
No, it doesn't.
And you know what, Benson, I agree. So he said the same day streaming is killing the cinemas. I agree. We work with Showcase Cinemas, and I got to admit that I've been going to the movies a lot. I've seen 15 movies this year in theaters, even movies that I otherwise would not have paid to see because I got the membership thing where you pay a monthly fee.
Yeah.
And it's just been so. I saw Escape Room 2, which is a movie that I would get from Redbox a month later. But it was just nice going out with my friend, eating popcorn, just sitting back, enjoying, the trailers. And at this point, you've seen every trailer like 20 times because if you ever go to the movies consistently, you're going to see the same trailers again and again and again. And so Benson's saying, I'm happy it's a fast-paced, punchy movie. The first stage to move Tom Holland out of the Marvel universe. That's Benson's theory that this is all about. They're eventually going to bring Tom. Oh, by the way, without ruining it, is the post-credits scene as mind-blowing as everyone is claiming it is? Everyone's like, oh my God, the post-credits scene. Without ruining it.
Yeah. I mean, it's good. It's not Avengers like seeing Thanos at the end good.
Yeah.
It's but it's good. Like, I would say that was my favorite part of the movie, honestly.
Yeah. All right. I'll probably go see it Saturday night. I think I'll go see it Saturday night. None of my friends want to see it, so I'll have to go with my sister or take my dad, and he's gonna be like, "What the hell is this?"
Right.
Like, what is it? What is this? Venom. Venom.
What? 1 second, I'm gonna plug the computer in. But keep
The
going.
Jack Schneider movie.
Jack
like
Schneider.
Jack Schneider. Yeah, he has all these names for people that he never says their names correctly, so he calls Zack Snyder Jack Schneider. Schneider, like Schneider, Schneider. There's a baseball player named Aaron Nola. He calls him Nolan because he remembers Nolan Ryan. But my dad is always making up his own names. He can't say Beyonce. He calls her Beyonce. And the man by the way, was educated in British schools, so he has phenomenal English. He just cannot say these. He couldn't say the word Chloe. He kept saying Chloe. I'm like, yeah, it's Chloe.
I still want a segment where you just impersonate your family.
Impersonate my family, yeah. Oh, that'd be funny.
That's my dream.
So
but
you gave it a
6.3. 6.3
yeah.
is what I gave it, and it's sitting at like 68, I believe. 60.
Yeah, I think it dropped to
68
just now. Yeah.
Yeah, that's more. See, I'm telling you, it's I've been pretty spot on with the scores lately. And
well, you know what's funny about the first one? The critics hated it, but audiences liked it.
Yeah.
But this one, even the audiences are like, eh.
Yeah, because they hit the same beats.
Yeah,
nobody wants the same thing twice.
Yeah.
Nobody. Hollywood's got to start coming around to the fact that audiences are ready for longer and more mature films.
So since the beginning of the show, it just dropped to 62.
Oof. Yeah. So yeah. I mean, I have it at 6.3, so 63%.
Yeah.
In turn, but yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. That's exactly where when I think the highest I saw was like 70 something.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was at 74, 75. I think Caden was telling us earlier.
Yeah.
I mean, technically, critically, I guess that is better than the first one. I mean, the first one had like Suicide Squad numbers, but
yeah, it was terrible.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you think this will have a nice opening weekend or no? I mean, I don't think it'll be like Shang-Chi opening weekend, or do you think this is going to? I'll be honest with you, it's October.
I think it's gonna flop.
Do you think it? I think James Bond came out last week, didn't there? Or does that come out this weekend? I think James Bond comes out.
No, it's not. It's not now.
It's not now. When is No Time to Die release date? Because I know the reviews for that are coming out. Okay, that comes out next week. Because the reviews for that are coming out, and that's getting much better reviews. That isn't right. Benson is saying we've had 23 movies with the same beats every time. I would agree to some degree, but like I said, they have those small moments, and I would say that every 4 Marvel movies that are the same, you'll get a Winter Soldier, you'll get a Civil War, you'll get a Guardian, something that'll shake things up, and I hope Spider-Man will be the movie to shake things up. Nick Carr says no.
I think he's talking about James Bond.
Oh, James Bond. Okay, all right. So honestly, Ty, if times are tough, is this worth spending money to go see in a theater, in IMAX or something, or even regular 2D screening?
Yeah. I would definitely go see it again. Like if I say I hadn't seen it already, I would go see it.
Okay. I think I'll see it on Saturday.
Yeah, I would tell people to go see it and formulate your own opinion. Right?
Okay.
I am by no means any judge, right? I can pretend to be, but I still encourage people. I'm not like Rotten Tomatoes. I still encourage people to go and formulate their own opinions because that's what we need is people that like if the majority likes this, then good, right? Then we'll get more.
Yeah, we'll get more. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. However,
by the way, I have a question for you. I was hoping that this would be a much better film, and I was asking Kane, can you think of franchises where the first movie was either bad or not well received, but then the second movie was like, oh my God, this is amazing. Oh yeah, that's a good example. Yeah, I mean the first one got okay reviews.
Yeah, but for the most part, it was the least enjoyable film from Phase 1.
Oh, really? I actually I like there are aspects of that movie.
For me,
like
for me, I'm a huge Captain America fan.
I love that. I like that first movie.
Me too. The consensus I've gotten is that's if you were to rank people's phase one, that would be towards the end of
towards the end. True.
Most people.
See, for me, my bottom would be Iron Man 2. I actually like Thor and Captain America back to back in that phase one. I think they're both fun movies. They're not great movies, but they're entertaining movies. I think the more recent example is Suicide Squad and The Suicide Squad. It's like night and day in terms of quality, writing, production, directing. But then I was thinking, then I said Evil 1 and Evil Dead 2. Evil Dead 2, I think, is kind of like the one that franchise is known for. And then you can't say The Dark Knight, because the first one got really good reviews. The Godfather obviously got good reviews. Star Wars got good reviews, so you can't say it. But I'm trying to think how many franchises have there been where the first film was bad or hated, and the second film came around. And then I thought to some degree, the Friday the 13th movies, in my opinion, got better because Jason doesn't become Jason until the third film, with the hockey mask and stuff. But that's what everyone thinks Friday the 13th, though. Jason the hockey mask doesn't happen until the third film. The second half of the third film. But yeah, I can't think of any other franchises where this. And I was hoping Venom 2 would be like night and day. It would be phenomenal. You have Andy Serkis, who you think would understand story structure. You got Woody Harrelson in it. It should be a home run.
That's what I thought. That's honestly what I thought. I thought, they got really lucky with the first one, with how successful it did become. And I thought for sure they were gonna mop the floor, right? Or at least attempt to make this storyline just something that exploded off the screen. But it felt like more of the same. And I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. I'm just saying that I think audiences are starting to come around and starting to want more deeper storylines with their with their comic book movies, and the tides are turning in that sense.
But a lot of the reviews I'm reading is that it's a big CGI mess, and I kind of was worried. For example, when you see stuff like this and they finally start fighting, that looks like a cool shot, but when they start fighting, is it going to be like I always say, stuff happening? You just see it's happening quick, and it's I felt a little bit towards the end of Shang-Chi like that when the parademons came. They weren't parademons, but that's what I've been calling them. Come, and then you got a dragon, and you got a guy on a dragon. All this stuff is kind of happening, and at that point, it looks like I'm playing Skyrim.
That's the thing with that. That's the thing with these symbiotes is the way they morph and do that. It's almost like they're fluid at some points.
Yeah.
That's what causes it, because this is the same problem I had last movie was the final battle. I couldn't even tell what was going on.
No spoilers.
I really couldn't. I couldn't tell. What is he talking about?
Yeah, I don't think you gave any spoilers. Spoiler, folks, Carnage and Venom will fight in this movie. I hope we didn't ruin the movie for you. They will fight in this movie.
But
damn it, Tyler, you ruined it. You ruined the big surprise.
Yeah, right. The Woody Harrelson's in it as Carnage.
Oh no, I didn't know that.
Yep.
There are credits at the end.
Spoilers are against my religion.
Yeah, we don't.
And I hate Grace Randolph.
Yeah, I know. I was joking with Benson because he's like, "Who cares what Grace Randolph says?" And I'm like, "Oh, I haven't seen Shang-Chi. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, that's your fault, man. The movie's been out for a month now." Sorry.
I was gonna say I definitely didn't spoil anything.
Justin, not really a spoiler, but there's a big CGI fight at the end. There you go. Sorry, I apologize. I thought you were talking about what time are you at? It's been a month.
Yeah. So
also, Bruce Willis was dead the entire time.
Spoiler. I'm not spoiler. What am I saying? Moral of the story is go see Venom. Check it out. Formulate your own opinion.
Yeah.
There is a chance that you'll enjoy it. It's definitely like a popcorn movie. I like Fast and the Furious, right?
Yeah.
The Venom franchise is like the Fast and the Furious of superhero movies.
Okay, that's a good comparison. All right. Yeah, shut your brain off or go to space, bitches.
Yep, exactly.
And John Cena is actually a decent actor. So, all right, you know what? Speaking of comic book stuff, let's move on to.
Did you see
Oh, go ahead.
Real quick before you go there, did you see that the Boys spin-off series is a go?
Oh, really? No, I did not.
It's got the green light, and it's going to be focused on like college, like I think they described it as hormonal college age superheroes. So it's going to be set in the same universe. Yeah.
This is.
I mean, I'm a huge The Boys fan, and I'm really anticipating season 3.
I mean, The Boys. It's written by one of my favorite comic book writers. What's his name? Garth Ennis. So here we go. A spin-off series based on Amazon's hit show The Boys is in the works. The Untitled show will be centered on young people with superpowers at a Vought-owned college. The cast includes Chilling Adventures of Sabrina star Jazz Sinclair. Oh, that's it was announced in late 2020. Okay, I did not know it was announced. It was given a series order.
Well, it was announced, but it's actually like greenlit now. It's
because they announced a lot of stuff.
You know what I mean? It's
like Todd McFarlane's Spawn movie, which is never coming out. Okay, exactly. So helmed by Agent Carter showrunners Michelle Fazekas and Tara Butters. I never watched Agent Carter before. I'm told it's actually pretty good.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's just, I mean, it's like.
I mean, now it's not canon anymore because of Cap going back and living his life. The lives of hormonal competitive soups as they put their physical, sexual, and moral boundaries to the test, competing for the best contracts in the best cities. Part college show, part Hunger Games, with all the heart, satire, and raunch of The Boys. So this isn't based off a comic book.
No, I don't think this.
Like there is no. See,
they'll say it's based on characters from The Boys. Like, you know what I mean? I don't. But I don't.
Here's Garth Ennis.
I never read The Boys.
As a writer, can be very disturbing. I mean, he writes disturbing and raunchy and perverse in like an entertaining way, in the same way that Tarantino can sometimes get away with raunchy and perverse moments. You know, like
he's one of the only directors that can get away with certain things.
When you see like Uma Thurman squish an eyeball and they focus on her feet squishing it, and you're like, ah! Like, you know, like, but you're not like, you'll still watch the movie because Kill Bill 2 is a great movie. But if they try to mimic that, I don't know if that'll work. Because at least now it's based on source material that they're kind of reinterpreting for Amazon with the Boys show.
Exactly.
The most shocking thing I've ever read in a comic book was written by Garth Ennis. And when I read that, I was like, oh my God, they allowed this. And it was in a Marvel comic too.
I think he did some Daredevil, right?
No, he never did Daredevil. He's the guy who saved the Punisher. The Punisher was a piece of crap character that was on his way out. And then he took over in 99 and just turned him into like a bloody psychopath. And then was like, how do we root for Frank Castle? Well, the people he's up against are way worse. Like, that's where the Punisher wasn't fighting like supervillains. He's freaking fighting sex traffickers, child pornographers, like and he's like blowing it away. And you're just like, good for you, Frank. You go, Frank. But like, there's a panel. There's a villain in the Punisher comics called Nikki Cavella, whose aunt kills his parents and becomes like the head of the family. And she's like, I'll take care of you, Nikki. He's like this little boy. And the next page, you see her. I don't want to use the R word. Rhymes with tape. On a screen. She's grabbing him and using it. This is a Marvel comic. And I'm like, oh my God. Like, now you kind of understand why this is sicko. Yeah. And she's like, F Anti-Mo, F Anti-Mo. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like 17 years old reading this. I'm like, dude, this is so messed up. Like, basically, his aunt molested him. And this happens 2 or 3 times in the comic. That's the type of Garth Ennis is. Like, he pushes that boundary. You know, like, yeah. Yes, folks, this is Marvel Comics. That's how messed up there. There's an even worse story with Kingpin, I think, that he wrote, where the Kingpin was in jail and got molested, right? So what the Kingpin does, he gets out of jail. The guy who molested him, he finds the guy's wife, has a bunch of men molest her and videotapes it and watches it and sends it. So, folks, when you say that Marvel is for kids, you're reading the wrong comics. But that's the type of writer Garth Ennis is. So my point with this, if the spinoff is not based on Garth Ennis material and they're just trying to make it aggressive without his style, it might not work as well. Ooh, it's at 59%. Oh my Lord. It's dropping.
It's dropping like flies.
Yeah. 59%.
Wow.
I mean, I don't see it dropping to like 20 or 30, but like that's
I'll say, but I'll also say that it'll probably go up from there. Or it might drop down a little bit more today, but go up again after the fact. But like it's not 40-50% bad. It's not.
Okay.
I'd say it's like in the 60s.
Okay. All right, in the 60s. It sounds fair. There's a lot of movies in the 60s. Didn't like Joss Whedon's Justice League, what was that, like 49% or something like that?
I don't know. I've ejected all that stuff from my brain.
Yeah. All right. Well, you know what, folks? If you have the opportunity to see it this weekend, go see it this weekend. Meanwhile, we're going to talk about the Batman. So, Robert Pattinson was doing an interview. There we go. And I think Caden told us it's right near his house. He was at the red carpet for the Academy Museum's premiere party, and he hinted that the footage shown at this year's DC fandom will give audiences a new look at his Bruce Wayne and Zoe Kravitz's Catwoman. Quote, "Me and Zoe did some stuff. It's a fun little thing. I wonder if it involves a Batmobile." Pattinson told Variety's Angelique Jackson, "There are a lot of little surprises for it." The actor also confirmed he has watched some portions of his DC film during the interview. "I've seen some of the movie now, and it's kind of really cool. It's really cool."
Well, you gotta remember what he's talking about here. So when he says me and or Zoe and I did some things for it, he's talking about DC fandom, right?
Oh, okay.
He's talking like they probably did a panel for it, where they did last time, and then they'll show us either a new trailer or a scene from the film that may or may not will most likely include Catwoman. If it doesn't, I'd be surprised. But,
I was talking about this real quick, kind of an aside. I hope whenever this damn pandemic ends, that they will go back to live shows instead of these virtual events. I loved it when you had a freaking audience cheering. You know, like one of the greatest videos you'll see is when they premiered the Force Awakens trailer to a live audience, and the way they reacted. You have thousands of screaming fans just going nuts watching a trailer. I kind of miss, like, I like DC fandom. I loved it last year, but I kind of hope they go back to live events, like on stage with a screen, you know?
Yeah.
And eye makeup. But, you know, I'm getting more and more excited about this. Do you think this will be better? Do you think this has the potential to be better than The Dark Knight in terms of like a really good, well-told, as a film, not as a Batman story, but as a well-told film, like, you know,
better than The Dark Knight?
Yeah, because The Dark Knight, you know, plays a lot of themes, you know, terrorism, Bush era, you know. Do you think this could be that good?
I think audiences are going to really enjoy this.
Yeah.
Like, it's hard to predict, but I honestly think that it's going to be a good mix between Ben Affleck and Christian Bale. So Christian Bale. I think it's going to be in the middle of those two, like kind of the brute force of Ben Affleck's Batman, but with more grounded takes. Grounded aspects of it.
You know what's funny about this picture? He gives me such a Nightwing vibe. Like, he looks like Dick Grayson there. I don't know. I always got a Dick Grayson vibe from that shot, especially with the hair.
Yeah.
Do you get that vibe at all a little bit, you know?
Yeah, he definitely does have a Nightwing vibe there.
Some fans have theorized that he's actually not Bruce Wayne. That he's actually, like, you know, there's going to be a big twist or something. Like, I don't think they're going to do anything stupid like that, honestly. He does need a new suit by the end of the movie, though.
Yes, and
He needs a new
I
suit.
yeah the suit. I mean, I know that's been like a talking point of the movie
Yeah, yeah,
or what we've seen so far. I don't think it looks bad for year two.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, it does give me those vibes like he's just kind of starting out. What was kind of cool about the Christian Bale Batman is they showed him like meticulously planning everything, so he's ready on day one. He's got like the best suit, you know. He decides to get a
Right.
cape because he falls down a building. He's like, "Do you have any lightweight fabrics?" And he's like, "Yep, I got just the thing." You know, he discovers, okay, I need a cape or something that'll help me when I'm falling. You know, it becomes practical. I kind of appreciated that about that first film, Batman Begins.
Me too. No.
Yeah,
Me too. Because Chris Nolan made it that everything that Batman used was practical,
yeah,
right? So like we saw, like, do you remember the sequence where he's testing out the masks
hmm
and they like had like boxes of them, like
yeah.
they had ordered I can't remember exactly what it was, but
He's
they
like, we
they
ordered the
ordered
problem with the
like
graphite, sir. We'll have to order 10,000 until looks suspicious. Like, oh, at least we'll have spares. And it comes from like Singapore and stuff,
yeah
and he takes different pieces and assembles it. I kind of like that because they never explained that, like in the movies at least. Like, Michael Keaton's Batman, he just had a suit. Did he build the cave himself? It's
they
just
just
there.
pull it out.
I mean, the whole idea of the
So
Batcave, like how much time you would need, like a construction team to spend years to build that, like he did it himself. That's where I kind of liked in
yeah.
Bale's Batman. It was just a cave with a couple of computers and wires, here and there.
Mhm.
But it was pretty cool.
Do you think
Um,
that? Do you think that actually is the gun in his chest, like the gun that killed his parents? Do you think they melted it
is
down
that?
and made
I
the
had not
emblem
heard
out
that
of it?
theory. That might be interesting.
You didn't
Oh,
hear
that'd be
that?
interesting. No, I didn't hear that. I didn't hear that theory. That's
Yeah,
actually I kind of like that idea.
because it's been done
So,
before in books and stuff,
okay. Well, how do you get the gun?
and
It
it
almost
kind
doesn't
of
come
looks
to
like it
mind.
if you look at it.
Yeah, it looks like it almost has like a gun feel to it. Like it looks like the handlebars. You can see screws kind of in the middle.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
that'd be kind of cool.
yeah. I think that would be the tool of his parents' destruction is
Yeah,
now part of the suit that he is trying to use for salvation. Oh, it's a
yeah,
cool full circle moment.
yeah.
That's what I really
You know
enjoyed.
what?
The
Now that I
cape kind
kind
of
of
looks
look
dope
at it,
too.
just the shape of him, I'm actually getting a lot of Michael Keaton Batman vibes because Michael Keaton was a lean guy, you know. So we've had like two buff
Mhm.
Batmans. We had like the Christian Bale Batman who was really buff in the first one. We had a big Batman. It kind of reminds me kind of like the sleek, skinnier kind of Batman, more of a ninjutsu type, more of a ninja martial artist kind of vibe, you know. Um, but yeah, no, I'm kind of excited. DC Phantom is in what, 2 weekends, 1 weekend? When is it? October. We're
October
doing it live.
16th. So
16th. So 2 weeks from this
October
Saturday.
16th. So yeah, 2 weeks from Saturday. Yep. So
And
next
hopefully
week,
they'll announce
not
the
so
restoral of the
this Saturday.
Snyderverse.
Now imagine. Oh my God.
Could you imagine if like
Imagine.
at the last second, like they're like, okay, we need something big that's gonna blow everyone. Everyone knows Batman's coming out. Everyone knows Aquaman 2 is coming out. Wonder Woman 3 is the green light. We need something. We need something. Not the WB people, but like the Discovery Warner or whatever. Like, why don't we just announce Zack Snyder's Justice League 2? We'll just put it together like just words. Nothing's been filmed, obviously, just like words.
Like
And just
the like the
leave it at that.
BVS like the BVS reveal. Do you remember when
Yeah,
so the Man of Steel logo came up and then
yeah,
the Batman logo came behind it? Oh man, that would I mean we'd have content for a long time. That'd be great. That would be great.
yeah. That'd be really cool.
So what do you think about the no Flash trailer coming? So this is not going to be a Flash trailer for fandom.
Yeah.
I was half expecting that to be the case. Maybe we'll. You know what? I would be satisfied if they didn't. Remember what they did for Black Adam in the first fandom,
Yeah.
where it was like the concept
They
art
just showed,
stuff.
like,
I think that would be a good idea.
They kind of did. Did they come up with a graphic with like it was Keaton's Batman and the Flash zooms up to him? Was that DC Fandom last year, or am I making that up? Or did someone else make that up? You know what I'm talking about?
I don't.
It's like CGI, like I don't know, maybe like something like that. But I know what you mean. Like,
yeah,
you know what they could do? So I think they're lying to us, and all they're going to do, and this is how they're going to blow your mind. If they're listening, take this advice. Just the words. The Flash coming. Filmed, so. Summer 2022. And as it fades, you hear Michael Keaton say, "I'm Batman." Just like, boom, right there. just have Michael Keaton say, "I'm Batman."
Yeah.
Snyderverse is over. Where's integrity? I kind of, when you need him. There's a 5% chance that Snyderverse may be Iron cut only because it's done. It's a Hail Mary prayer, just like we just still have hope. I still have hope.
So where Geek Studios, I'd be interested to where you came up with 5%. What was this analytical reason that you said 5%?
I think it's a number like 5% chance.
Probably. So I have been hearing things through the website that I write for about the haircut and potential 2022. So, I think it's kind of a no-brainer for DC. I think it's kind of something, but then again, if it never happens, I won't lose sleep over it.
Yeah. It's kind of interesting because I think that Warner Brothers might have been shocked that the Suicide Squad didn't perform as well as they had hoped. It might partly be the dual release. Part of it was that there was so much baggage from the first film that the average audience was like, "Oh, a new Suicide Squad film. Yeah, I'm going to go see that." You know what I mean? Like, they just don't care. Like, they just zoned out. And maybe it will have life as time goes by. I always said the best thing for the Snyderverse movement is to let the Zack Snyder's Justice League disseminate a little bit longer. So the fans have seen it. Our friends, the friends of the fans have seen it. It needs time to kind of get out there to the general audiences where at some point they watch, like, yeah, you know what? That was a pretty good movie. And that would be good for that. Same thing with Suicide Squad. If the Suicide Squad didn't make as big a splash as they had hoped, then yeah, release David Ayer's Suicide Squad. But I've said this once and I said it again, if you're expecting a change in quality that you saw from Justice League to Zack Snyder's film, I don't think it'll be that dramatic of a change. I think you'll have different dialogue, a little more of a tone. I don't think it'll be as drastic. Like, people are like, oh my God, it's going to be like a completely different movie. Maybe, but not, well, I don't know. Steppenwolf shows up in that one.
And David Ayer's Deadshot and Harley do have a romantic aspect, and they do touch lips, as well as Diablo. There's never a scene with Diablo in prison in David Ayer's, and there's a more emotional arc for Diablo.
Okay.
Which I would be definitely interested in seeing.
I feel bad for those actors, except for like Harley Quinn. Everyone else was like, "Oh, this will probably make me famous," and like, no, like it didn't really help Will Smith like in any really which way.
Well, did you hear what he said the other day?
What did he say?
That he'd be okay. So it's being taken a little bit too far by certain like scoop websites.
Yeah.
But he was doing an interview about his new movie, and they asked him, why wasn't Will Smith's Deadshot in the new Suicide Squad movie? And he explained about his schedule conflicts and why he couldn't do it. But then he asked, he's like, wait, Idris Elba didn't play Deadshot, right? And whoever was doing the interview was like, no, he's a different character. He's like, okay, so I can come back. So
there you go. I think he's keeping on the burner there. Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
Have you heard?
I would love to see his full.
Have you heard any more rumblings? I know I haven't heard much. That the Ben Affleck series, anything about that, or is that like? I know that was kind of hotly talked about, like rumor circle, that they might do a Batman one-time series. Have you heard anything else about that?
Nothing.
I know Lightcast was really into that.
No.
Cultured Nerd. No, nothing.
Yeah, nothing about that.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. I've always thought that would be kind of cool. Bring back Deadshot, and Deathstroke. I mean, he looks so cool. We're gonna lose a lot if we give up on that. I really want to see what's gonna happen next.
Yeah, listen, I'm still an avid wanter, if that even makes sense, of a Jared Leto, like Zack Snyder's style Jared Leto Joker. and Ben Affleck's Batman, like a psychological, just whatever. Like, really, that the tension between those two and that post-credit scene alone, or I mean that after that epilogue scene alone was, I mean,
And when I kill you,
I felt,
make no
yeah,
mistake, I will kill you.
I couldn't even believe what I was feeling during that.
Yeah.
And a series with those two, oh my God, take all my money for the next million years.
And by the way, I think they're changing Deadshot. He's white in the comics, but like in the new Suicide Squad game, he's black. Like I think they're like, you know what? So what if he is like with Nick Fury? They're like once they made him black in Ultimate, and then once they cast Samuel L. Jackson, they're just like, you know what? Nick Fury's black now, and I'm okay with that. I don't really care. But when is the Batman slate to come? That's gonna be late next year, right? Like late.
The Batman?
The Batman is going to be late. Yeah, the Batman release date. Wait, that's coming out in March? March 2022. That's 6 months away.
I can't remember. Yeah.
Flash is coming out in November. Wow. And we still haven't got... Well, I guess we do have the one trailer. Have you noticed that they're releasing trailers a lot later now? I don't know if it's just because of COVID, but like we still haven't seen a Spider-Man. We saw one Spider-Man trailer, but like, you know,
because they're starting to catch on.
The Matrix trailer, which I don't know if the movie's going to be good, but that trailer, I wish we could have done a reaction to that. But you got Jefferson Airplane's White Rabbit playing, and it's Warner Brothers. But Batman Assault in Arkham, I got it right there. I love that movie. Yeah, she says Yahtzee when she
Yes.
You know,
okay,
Yahtzee. Yeah. But yeah, it's pretty exciting. The new Resident Evil movie is supposedly coming in November. Wow.
Yeah, I think studios are starting to get hip to it instead of giving away all of their secrets and cool things. They're holding out, and you know, people are still going to go see these movies, these blockbuster comic book movies. They're going to go see them. You don't necessarily need to give everything away or even release it. I'm actually really enjoying the Spider-Man No Way Home treatment.
Yeah.
With the
that might just be the only trailer they release. And if they do any
I'm
like
okay with that.
If they do any what do you call them, TV spots and ads, it should just be footage from the first trailer. Like don't use any
15 seconds here, 15 seconds there. And then once, because usually once the movie starts playing, like a week after that, they'll take maybe an extra scene or two and throw it out there. You know what I mean? That's okay with me as well. Because after a week or 2 weeks, then you do need to start. If you haven't seen it in the first 1 or 2 weeks, chances are you're a general audience member. So now they need to hype you up and get you in there, right?
Yeah.
So that's when they start releasing a little bit more in terms of TV spots and ads.
And I completely forgot about Morbius. That's also coming out.
What is it?
Morbius. That's coming out in January.
Morbius might never come out.
We're about to talk about James Bond. If that keeps you interested, Benson, you're from England, aren't you? We're going to talk about James Bond real quick. You know what? Let's do it real quick. Let's touch on James Bond. All right, let me ask you this. Are you a James Bond fan? Because I am not a huge fan. I like some of the movies, but I've never been that big of a Bond fan.
I've never seen any James Bond movies.
Really? Because the first one with Daniel Craig is actually the only one that I actually bought and I rewatched, Casino Royale. But the new one's coming out. It's going to be his last one. It's going to be 2 hours and 43 freaking minutes. It's going to be a Avengers Endgame length James Bond movie. And the reviews so far are coming out, and apparently it's decent. And I think the reason I'm talking about this is because now that he's done, there have been a lot of question marks in terms of who's going to be the next James Bond. And I feel like because of social pressure, the next James Bond will probably be either a person of color or a woman. I think that's where it's going. You don't think so? Like no. Jane Bond or Tina Bond or
no.
James Bond.
it wouldn't, because they definitely wouldn't be. She wouldn't be called James Bond, right? James
Yeah.
Bond is a person, but 007 is a mantle. So, and that's, you achieve to that mantle, right? So,
Kazuka says you should watch Casino Royale. That first movie is really good. I'm not a Bond fan, but that movie is well made. Very well made.
I started the newest series, the Daniel Craig ones, but I haven't finished the first one yet. So technically, I haven't seen a full James Bond movie.
Okay, so my dad really loves him. My buddy Rob is really into him. And here's what's funny: this should be something I'm really into. I mean, you got like this total alpha male. He hooks up with all the girls. He's suave. He's cool. He's an action hero. And it just never really clicked for me. I don't know what it is. I've enjoyed the movies that I've seen, even the bad ones. I've seen them in theaters. I enjoy them, but like I've never been a huge Bond fan. And you know, my buddy who really likes Bond movies, he thinks it's stupid that I like this stuff. You know, that I watch Venom. He's like, you'll watch Venom, but you won't see the new James Bond movie. And I'm like, I might go see James Bond. But folks, what do you think? My pick, my personal pick for who the next James Bond should be is Superman himself, Geralt of Rivia himself, Henry effing Cavill, and Geek Studios just, yeah, there we go. I would cast Henry Cavill should be James Bond. He's got the height.
I'm gonna join Nick. Yes, Will Smith is Bond.
Will Smith isn't British though. I don't know. Can Will Smith do an English accent?
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
How old is David Tennant though? David Tennant. See, David Tennant is it? How do I put this? Oh, he's 50.
He doesn't look James Bondy.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say he's not handsome. I'm not saying he's not good looking. There's a difference between good looking and handsome. Yeah, Cavill has he's a handsome man. You know, I guess people made the case that Daniel Craig wasn't necessarily handsome. Like he's a good looking man, no doubt, but he's not handsome in the traditional James Bond way. But I think Henry Cavill's 36. He's young. You could easily get 10 years out of him, maybe more. What if him and The Rock keep working out? The Rock's 50. He's gonna be 50 next year. All right. If he can look as good as to have work out with The Rock, you will have a solid James Bond for the next 10, 15 years. I mean, Daniel Craig's been doing it for 15 years. But I think it would be perfect.
Cavill did say that he would be open to being a Bond villain, if anything. If he wasn't cast as Bond, he said he would do a Bond villain.
I'll be honest with you, I like Idris Elba, but he's 49. He's gonna be 50 soon. And he kind of looked, I mean, purposely, he looked a little bit older in Suicide Squad. You can see gray in his hair, gray in his beard, you know.
Yeah, but they need to stop that shit, casting him as every black role that there ever was.
Exactly. And I feel like what happens is it kind of shows how Hollywood is. Because many people don't know too many black actors except for like Morgan Freeman, Samuel Jackson. They're like, Idris Elba, you know, who should play Martin Luther King?
It's the same thing with Denzel.
Yeah.
Denzel got every action black role that there was for the 20 years.
Barbara is a producer along with being the daughter of the creator of Bond.
Yeah, her name always.
She said, as long as she's alive, there will be no female Bond. Yeah, that could work. Cavill was in auditions before Daniel Craig's casting. Interesting. Yeah, I was gonna say Ian Fleming is the creator, unless the daughter. That's Ian Fleming's daughter. But like, I'm kind of surprised that this brand is still around because, not that I care, no, I don't care, but the consensus in Hollywood is that you can't have a straight white male be a hero, and James Bond is kind of a womanizer. I mean, it's kind of his thing that he just doesn't settle down. Although I think this James Bond has settled down. I've been told. I wouldn't be surprised if they just I have no problem with it. I really don't care, but that they just kind of deep emasculate him a little bit, you know?
Right.
Yeah. RDJ, yeah. RDJ could do British, but again, he's over 50. RDJ was 43, 44 in the first Iron Man. I mean, he looks good. He could probably do it. In fact, I even make the case that RDJ would make a good Bruce Wayne Batman.
Oh, yeah.
Sans the physical qualities. I mean, he's maybe the way that Michael Keaton was. He's about 5'8", 5'9", 5'10", you know, around there, kind of Batman. hypothetically, I'm not saying I want that, but I would like James Bond to be British or from either Scotland, Ireland. Like I think Sir Sean Connery's from Scotland, and but I need him to be British.
Yeah, they
least,
have to be able to pull off that accent.
John Krasinski as James Bond? No, he's good as Jack Ryan, but that's a different type of character. No, I'm not. You know who John Krasinski is?
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. I mean, I like him as an actor, and he's really good as a director. He's been really good as a director, but not as James Bond. But I think Henry Cavill, right there, you got the perfect guy, perfect age. He's not too young. He can play mature. Right. He can turn on the charm, and he's had some experience. Like I think his Superman in BVS and even Justice League is better than it was in Man of Steel because you can tell he's still getting the feel for the role. He's a mature actor. He's had the experience as Geralt of Rivia. He's kind of a womanizer. He's like going through women in that series. I'm like, perfect. Henry Cavill. He's got the dark hair. He's got the looks. I mean, hold on. Let me see if I can find something. But I would love Henry Cavill. And right now he's hot in terms of
every studio wants him. And
every studio wants him.
DC is the only one who, or Warner
yeah,
Bros.
DC's like, oh, we don't want him.
The only one that will throw it away.
Yeah. But here, I'm going to share this image real quick if I can pull it up. Here we go. I'm going to share this page. Just look at this man. What a man, what a man, what a man, what a mighty good man. Mighty good man. Here we go. Check this out. Oh, there we go. Sorry. I mean, that's James Bond right there. That is James Bond. I mean, he's young here, but tell me, Ty, look at that. This could not be James Bond.
Yeah, I mean,
just picture Henry Cavill saying Bond. James Bond.
Yeah, he is James Bond. I think he looks the perfect part, and he's got the acting chops to do it.
He's about to pull out I like this photo because it looks like he's about to pull out like a gun or something. But that's just my case. But I don't know what Hollywood will do.
James Bond needs to fill out a tux, and
right.
and Cavill fills out a tux.
All right. Real quick, Ty. I'm going to talk about Britney Spears, and so I'm
going to use this opportunity to go to the bathroom then.
Yes, I was going to say. I was going to say without saying it. Ty has to go to the bathroom, okay. So I was like, all right, let me see if we can transition, folks. I got some updates and some very pretty pictures that are not at all subjugating Britney Spears. She's free at last. Again. I'm not taking credit for this, but as soon as we start talking about it here at Pop Culture Corner, things started moving. They started moving. Did you guys do something? Do the lawyers and the judges in California watch Jivin' with Jack? Possibly. But here's what happened. I'm going to update you real quick about what happened. All right? Basically, Spears will no longer have her father, Jamie Spears, this is per CNN, managing her estate after he was suspended from the role of the singer's estate. Spears' attorney, Matthew Rosengart, called her father cruel, toxic, and abusive. Britney Spears wants him out of her life today rather than as a lingering and toxic presence. Britney deserves to wake up tomorrow without her father as her conservator. So her lawyer is praising the Free Britney movement. He said it's been a lot of hard work. It's been intense. I'm proud. Britney's proud. I think the support of the hashtag Free Britney movement has been instrumental to the extent that it allowed my firm to carry the ball across the finish line. I thank them as well. Oh, the documentary came out this week. I did not get a chance to see it. Britney versus Spears. It's supposed to come out this week. It came out Tuesday. I'm definitely going to check it out this weekend. Actually, you know what? How about we put Britney Spears as a Bond girl against Henry Cavill? I'm just full of ideas today, baby. I'm just full of ideas. Britney Spears, Bond girl, next Bond movie with Henry Cavill. Boom. So this jackass is her father. This is what Britney Spears said per Variety. Britney's dad, now that he doesn't have the money, the mansion, the cars, he probably paid for hookers. He probably paid for. Look at that guy. Doesn't that look like the type of guy who probably pays like women for sex? Look at him. Look at this bastard. But now he's trying to make nice. This is what he said. They put out a statement. Mr. Spears loves his daughter Britney unconditionally. For 13 years, he has tried to do what is in her best interests, whether as a conservator or her father. This started with agreeing to serve as her conservator when she voluntarily entered into conservatorship. 13 years ago. 13 years ago. Keep that in mind. She did this when she was having a meltdown. This included helping her revive her career and reestablish a relationship with her children. For anyone who has tried to help a family member dealing with mental health issues, they can appreciate the tremendous amount of daily worry and work this required. And a lot of money, too. If taking care of your kid makes you a millionaire. For Mr. Spears, this has also been biting his tongue and not responding to all the false, speculative, and unsubstantiated attacks on him by certain members of the public media, or more recently, Britney's own attorney. Here's the problem, man. It's not just her attorneys. It's also her. It's her saying these things about you. All right? You know, I would give credence. I would say, okay, he's got a point that maybe the media is taking things a little too far, but it's not just the media. It's not just the fans. It's not just the lawyers. It's Britney Spears herself saying this about you. You have made tens of millions of dollars. She's produced albums. She's done everything, and now he's trying to make nice. Look at him. Look at that face of his. It says, despite the suspension, Mr. Spears will continue to look out for the best interests of his daughter and work in good faith towards a positive resolution of all matters. Daddy needs money for the jet plane. That's what that is. But what can you do? What can you do? All right. I thought I'd just drop that in there. You know what? While Ty's gone, let's talk some Grand Theft Auto. All right. So this news is about a month old. It's a month old. All right. Where's documentaries on Netflix? Well. We're going to talk about Grand Theft Auto. All right. Real quick. Kotaku's reported this, and it's been backed up by other sites. What they call the first trilogy, Grand Theft Auto 3, Vice City, and San Andreas, are apparently getting remasters. And I gotta say, I am 100% for this. I don't know if you guys ever played these games, but they were phenomenal. Grand Theft Auto 3 changed video games. San Andreas changed video games. These games changed what games could be. They changed how narratives were told, and they pushed content. And let me say something. If there were ever a time, not just in the world, but really in America and the West in general, that we need Grand Theft Auto, it's now. Because Grand Theft Auto likes to court controversy by pushing buttons. Now, I know what you're going to say. You're going to say, Jack, Grand Theft Auto has always done that. It has always pushed buttons. It is always being risque. Except now is a very, 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 very politically correct and safe kind of environment we're in. Movies are trying to be safer. Jokes, comedy is trying to be safer. Television is trying to be safer. It's gotten kind of sanitized. And not because I think there's a lack of creativity. I think people are afraid to push the envelope. The only show right now that does still push the envelope is South Park. But South Park's day, I think, is done. I will still watch South Park. I love South Park. But you don't see that kind of pushback when people say, you can't do this. You can't show that. You can't have this in video games. And since this era has started in the last 5 or 6 years, Grand Theft Auto hasn't come out with a new game. And one of the best things Grand Theft Auto does, which a lot of people forget about, they talk about, you can go to the strip club and all the other stuff, yada, yada. The best thing Grand Theft Auto does, it is the perfect satire of America. Going back to the very first game, it's a perfect satire of American consumerism and of American music, movies, and culture. And boy, oh boy, I would love to see. I know as soon as we start talking about Britney, everyone left. Everyone left. They're like, he's talking about Britney again. And Grand Theft Auto, you'd think people would want to talk about Grand Theft Auto. What we need as a society is a game to push that envelope. I know they're working on Grand Theft Auto 6. I know it's coming out at some point in the future. But I hope that Rockstar Games doesn't hold back. They go after everyone. They go after Hollywood. They go after liberals. They go after conservatives. They go after religious people. But I hope they don't hold back in an effort to be more politically correct. Usually, yeah, I love GTA. I mean, you'd think GTA would be a big thing, but America right now needs something to kind of hold up a mirror to itself and say, this is what you look like. That's you. And GTA has always been good at that. The character of Trevor in GTA 5 was basically saying, hey, guys, that's you. You see the way Trevor is kind of acting out and killing people and starting, over nothing? That's you. You're Trevor. Do you see what we're saying? The best things in Grand Theft Auto, I know a lot of people don't listen to it. Every Grand Theft Auto game, starting with 3, Vice City, San Andreas, 4, and 5, has always had a political station. It kind of is making fun of NPR and Fox News. So you'll have the right-wing talk radio, like, this is America, we love it. If you don't, F you. Like, that's literally like one of the commercials. And then you'll have the liberal, the hippie, the passé, the emasculated man who wants to give money away. And this is in the games. GTA San Andreas has a perfect kind of like, I think it's like they're making fun of a political couple where there's the guy's a liberal, the wife's a conservative, and they're arguing with each other. Look up the radio talk stations from Grand Theft Auto. Excellent. And Grand Theft Auto has never pulled punches. And the reason I think Grand Theft Auto is really well written and is a great critique of America is because the guys who write it aren't from America. They're Scottish based. So in the same way that Paul Verhoeven as a director is really good at critiquing America in the first RoboCop is because he's Dutch. An outsider will always do a better critique than an insider. And we haven't had a new GTA game in a long time. Now, I know this is just a remaster, but there's a lot in this game, in Grand Theft Auto 3, in Grand Theft Auto Vice City, and in San Andreas that will piss off this sort of safe crowd. Like, that's too safe. Like, I understand the whole, like, we should be more careful, inclusive. I'm all for that. But GTA has stuff in it that will piss these people off, and I think that needs to happen. That is what Grand Theft Auto has always done. It has always said, oh, here's the line, and we're going to go so far away from the line. In the words of Joey Tribbiani, the line is adapt to you. These games did it. And I think America especially needs a Grand Theft Auto game to say, like, hey, this is what you guys look like. This is what you guys look like. Both liberals, conservatives, religious, atheists, rich, poor, celebrity culture. It'll be beautiful. And whatever Rockstar is working on, I'm happy with it. But a remaster of these games, I mean, they literally recreate the Rodney King riots in these games. In San Andreas, they do the Rodney King riots. Of course, they do their own version of it. And Vice City, don't you want to see those girls on the beach in 4K? I know I'm excited about it. Ty, you back?
Yeah.
All right. We were talking about Grand Theft Auto and the remastering. Did you ever play the older ones? Grand Theft Auto 3, Vice City, San Andreas, sort of the PlayStation era game? Yeah, they're remastering it. And I was making a point that I think America needs Grand Theft Auto right now. We need that game to, like, piss people off, have them lose their minds, scream for it to be pulled off the shelves. But whereas before, like 20 years ago, it was like, this game is reprehensible. Look how it portrays women. This game is bad for children. Like, nowadays, the criticism of Grand Theft Auto will be this. I think the representation of people of color in this game is very unhealthy. I think that this game is stereotypical. I think it's portraying.
They're going to say it's stereotypical, yeah.
And I don't agree how in Grand Theft Auto 3 we have a white male protagonist, people with a baseball bat. And I just think that things like this help nurture a racist and a dangerous society. Like, that'll be the difference. All of a sudden, the people who, like, 20 years ago were like, dude, it's a video game, get over it. That side's going to be like, it's problematic. I think CJ.
Oh yeah.
The African American. You're gonna get that stuff, and I want it to happen. I need these games to come back. I want little kids to play this game. If you're underage, I will help you buy this game. I want these groups, these political groups, to like say this game needs to be removed from the store shelves. We need Grand Theft Auto. America needs Grand Theft Auto to kind of like be like, hey guys, this is what you look like right here. And that's the end of my speech. You miss Britney Spears.
That'd be really funny.
You know it's gonna happen
if they tried to cancel Grand Theft Auto.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I think it'll be beautiful. They banned it in Australia for a couple of years. Australia is kind of weird. Australia doesn't mess around, man. They actually ban stuff and cancel stuff like if it crosses lines. But like you know it's going to happen. You know it's going to happen.
It's a game called Grand Theft Auto. Of course it's going to cross lines.
Like we haven't had a game come out during this kind of really safe, woke PC era. And I think
Cyberpunk came out, but that's it.
I hope you know what? I hope they make the boobs bigger just to make them mad. Just to just get them mad. Get the activists like, oh, this is
instead of 20 strip clubs, there's 400.
Yeah. And you know what? Put sex back in it. I know there was a sex scene in Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. You had to unlock it, and then people got so mad they had to take it out. Put it back in.
What?
Put it back in. Yeah.
Wait,
put it back
they
in.
really
Grand
took
Theft
it
Auto
out?
5. Basically, you could date a girl, and you can see CJ like, you know, humping her and everything. And it was like hidden in the code of the game. The PC gamers found it, right?
Yeah, but I remember you used to be able to pick up hookers.
Yeah, but like what they would do is they would show the car rocking. Like it wouldn't actually show stuff. But in Grand Theft Auto 5, you actually see there's 2 sex scenes in Grand Theft Auto 5. Like they don't actually show like, you know, the actual pet. But like you use Trevor. The first time you see the character of Trevor, he's banging a meth head while watching the news.
God.
And then they make fun of Selena Gomez and stuff. But anyway, that stuff was in San Andreas, but they took it out. I'm saying put it back in. Put it back in. I want people to froth at the mouth. I want kids on college campuses to faint when they find out this. I think this game should not be allowed on the campus. This game is really offensive and degrading to people of color. Well, this person of color is saying play it and enjoy it. Enjoy it. Hopefully it'll be out before
hilarious.
Christmas. If it comes out before Christmas, we will give you a live playthrough. We'll do that. But yeah, I have one bit more of news to go before we wrap up the day. You ready?
I'm ready.
Woo! Yeah, hot coffee. That was the name of the mission. Rocky 4 is getting a director's cut. The version of the film no one asked for because they didn't care or because they didn't know it existed. And apparently, it's getting a 40-minute restoration of footage, and it's being renamed Rocky v. Drago. And it's going to be coming out in theaters, and then it'll, for one night, and then it will be on digital and Blu-ray and all that fancy stuff come November. I'm going to say something. I'm not a huge fan of the Rocky movies, and I know being from Philadelphia, that's blasphemy. I like them. But the 4th one, which is arguably the cheesiest one, is also my favorite one. Where he fights Drago and he goes to Russia and he gives like a Sam Wilson speech like, if we can be friends and you can be friends, why can't we be friends together? You know, like it's like a dumb speech. But I like this movie. I think it's, I don't know what the hell.
Oh, my Lord.
Extra minutes. But you're like, I will break him.
It's actually just 40 extra minutes of that speech.
Yeah, and apparently it's like kind of retooled a little bit. They retooled the film a little bit. I know it's blasphemous. I know the first one won Best Picture, but I kind of like Rocky IV. It's the most entertaining one, you know. The 80s music montage, you know, when he's running and like running up the mountain and chopping wood to beat the Russian and, you know. Here we go. I hate Rocky IV. I'm not interested in the extended cut. I don't think it'll make that much of an improvement. Now, it is a cheap, cheesy movie. It is. But, like, I don't know. I'm kind of curious. Like, what the hell did they take out 40 minutes of? Like, if he dies, he dies. Dude, they killed Apollo Creed in this movie. That was like, I was so sad as a kid when they killed Apollo Creed. I'm like, why does this man keep dying? He died in Predator. He died in Rocky IV. He better not die in The Mandalorian. He better not die in The Mandalorian. But anyway, were you ever a fan of the Rocky movies? Because I'm from Philly. Everyone loves Rocky. I like the first movie, but I'm not like in love with it. I'm not like, you know, if anyone from Philly burned at the stake.
I've never really been a boxing movie fan.
I don't either.
The first one's okay. I mean, it's good, but I just never, like, I was never truly invested in it.
Yeah. I mean, Rocky 4 is the one that kind of feels like a comic book movie just because it's so over the top. Have you ever seen this one where he fights the Russian and, like, you know, he's like training on machines and he's taking steroids
Yeah, I've seen
and everything?
bits of it. Yeah, I've seen bits of it.
Yeah, Ill Life is a Philly guy. Look, I like Rocky 4. I'm not saying it's the best movie or it's great. I just enjoy it. It's like the one that's always on TNT. It felt like Rocky 4 is on, you know. Pretty sure 3 and 4 are 90-minute movies, so 40 minutes might be good stuff. It might be. I mean, here's what the director said. The fight scenes are more intense, the music is more powerful, and the drama is heightened as a world heavyweight title. Rocky Balboa must defend his blah, 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 blah. It's called Rocky v. Drago, the Ultimate Director's Cut. Will deliver 40 minutes of never-before-seen footage. The film, which Stallone directed as well as starred in, will be available for one-night engagement. I'm trying to find out what else is going on here. Apparently, they have some more music in it. What was left on the cutting room floor? Okay. Is it 90 minutes?
So is it a rough cut made whole?
I think so. I guess.
Okay. I mean, it's not going to vindicate.
Oh, wow. It actually is 91 minutes. I thought it was a longer movie because so much happens in it. Rocky 3, I think, is also good. The one with, what's his name? I pity the fool. I pity the fool. Mr. T. Mr. T. Dude, if you ever want to see something uncomfortable, look up Mr. T's 2 interviews with David Letterman in the 80s. They are so cringe because Mr. T does not want to be there, and David Letterman keeps trying to make jokes. And like, at one point, Mr. T threatens to beat up someone in the crowd.
No
it's
way.
Like really cringe. Yeah, he's like, yeah, I see you laughing over there. Yeah, boo, nothing. Yeah, you keep making jokes like that, I'm going to come up there and hit you. And David's like, no, he's not. No, he's not. So what do you like to do in your spare time? And Mr. T just like looks at him. He doesn't want to be there. He's like, do you have fish? And like everyone starts laughing. And like T looks like he's about to like, kill Letterman.
Oh my God,
like,
why?
Yeah. Apparently, he didn't. So the first time he was there, he was promoting the A-Team. And the second time he was there, he was promoting WrestleMania. And then Dave Letterman, and he didn't want to be there. He was training for WrestleMania. It was going to be the first WrestleMania. Him and Hulk Hogan were going to fight. It was going to be a big thing. They were going to fight two bad guys. Like, I'm training 15 hours a day with Hulk Hogan. The man is 6'7", 290 pounds. I ain't time to be here to be messing around. I'm here to promote WrestleMania. I ain't here to talk about the A-Team. You know, like, he gets really mad. Like, he just does not want to be I'm only here because Vince McMahon asked me to be here. And I'm like, you're like, oh. You can just tell, like, he's mad. At one point, he breaks a chair. Like, he sits and he breaks it. And then, like, it's really worth watching.
I'm literally gonna watch this right after we're done.
Yeah, it's really. I mean, we could watch it here, but like, I don't know if that's.
Go ahead, throw it on. Go ahead.
Let's see if I can find. If it's actually CBS who put it up there, then we might have issues. But Mr. T. Letterman, yeah. If it's actually CBS, you might have an issue. But if it's like, no, someone put it on their personal YouTube channel, so I think we should be good, right? All right, yeah.
That's not how it works, but.
No, but
I don't care.
Okay, all right, here we go. Ty's like, it's not my show.
I just want to see it.
All right, can you guys see the image? Oh, I gotta shit. There we go.
Not yet.
You guys need to watch this. So this is his second time there, right? And this is the one, like, he's promoting WrestleMania. He just does not want to be there.
My first guest tonight is one of the stars, but one of the biggest stars on this television network, well, I guess of all television. The show that he appears on regularly is called The A-Team, and so we like to think of him as family. He is also appearing at Madison Square Garden this Sunday night as part of the big WrestleMania. Boy, you hardly hear anything about this, do you? They're keeping it a secret, apparently. Anyway, please welcome back to our show, Mr. T. How are you? The first time you were on this show was two and a half years ago? At least 2 years ago, I think.
3 years ago,
3 years
1982,
ago. Yeah.
July.
And since that time,
He's having so much fun.
It's just like the.
Well, I want to correct you. I'm not a star. Georgia Part is the star of the show. I'm a co-star.
Okay, co-star. Well, see, that's a very nice thing for you to say.
Well, I just tell the truth.
Yeah.
I don't get caught up in all the ego tripping. You know, I'm just glad to be a part of the team.
Yeah, but let me ask you this, and you can't answer this objectively, of course, but if you weren't on that show, do you think it would be the success that it has been?
Oh, yes, it would. You know, yes, it would.
No, I don't think so.
Well, like I said, mainly I'm just so grateful to God for all my success. I don't get into, you know, I'm a team player.
Let me ask you, how has your life changed? Because when you were here before, there was no cartoon show about your life. You had no TV series. You had no books. You probably had an agent. But now I'm guessing you've got managers, agents, accountants, lawyers.
You're guessing.
Yeah.
Only have 3 people on me: an agent, accountant, and an attorney. My agent makes the deal. My accountant counts my money. My attorney handles the lawsuits that I'm faced with, you know, for me calling people and things like that. And that's all I need next to God. I don't need nobody else. You don't want to see a big entourage of people hanging around me.
Yeah.
Parasites and leeches.
That's a good way to lose it's a good way to lose your money.
And I don't have a lot of friends.
Yeah.
You know, but they weren't my friends when I was poor, so I tell them I'll be petting me on the back now.
Now, what about your friends from where you used to live in Chicago, right? Do you have buddies?
Friends, I don't, they weren't my friends.
You had no friends then?
No, they call my name and things like that. But now I got a whole lot of so-called friends. Now they want to be a part of me.
Yeah.
But I don't play that because I watch what happened to other so-called stars or celebrity when they make it big. People didn't believe in me. They didn't want to spend. They wouldn't give me the time of day. Why wouldn't they say that? I don't want to be hanging with that wild-looking guy, that funny haircut and all that. You know.
Yeah.
They used to really laugh. They don't laugh no more.
No, that's right.
You know.
Yeah.
But, so what we're gonna do here? You know.
Now, wait a minute. I got a question. A lot of people think I probably went to sleep there, but I know what I'm doing. I'm in control here. Now, how do you get along with George Papard? Has he ever asked you over to the house for dinner?
Well, first of all, I want to get it straight. I'm not here to talk about the A-team of George Papard. I love George Papard like a father. I love Dirk Benedict, who plays Faceman. I love Dwight Schultz, who plays Murdoch. But I'm not here to talk about the A-team. It speaks for itself.
Mm-hmm.
I'm here, I guess, supposedly we're supposed to be talking about WrestleMania March 31st.
Well, no, wait a minute.
Sunday afternoon in Madison Square Garden.
Okay. Wait a minute. Let me know.
And I like to add, you know, it wasn't my idea to come here. I've been in training. We've been training twice a day. Me and the Hulk. And that's why I'm hoarse now. The guy been choking me. The guy weighs 305 pounds. He's 6'8". He's the World Wrestling Federation champion.
How old a man is he?
I didn't ask him that.
When he dozes off, take a look at his wallet. Now, Mr. T, let me ask you.
You know.
We're all right.
Do you remember this ball?
I sure do. 10 times.
You're right.
How many times you squeezed it?
5.
Oh, you haven't squeezed it 5. I'll give you 1. You're up to 1. If you squeeze it 10, I'm a ghost, right? Okay, 1. I'll give you 1.
But anyway,
now,
like I was saying,
Mr. T,
it wasn't my idea to come here because I was supposed to be in training. You know, we've been in New York City for a week, doing all kind of crazy shows and things like that when we should be training.
Okay.
I take this very serious. It's not a joke with me wrestling out here, getting out there with these guys, Roddy Piper, Paul, Mr. Wonderful Orndorff, and Ace Bob Orton. These guys are professionals. They've been wrestling for years, and they cheap shot artists. They dirty. They do every trick in the book. So I cannot take these guys lightly. They are strong. They're in physical condition. So I've been training myself for five weeks. I've lost 27 pounds. So we can't take these guys lightly. We got to be training every moment of the day.
Now you bring up a good point.
See, you clowning.
Wait a minute. Let me say something.
You're clowning now. You're clowning. One of these days, I don't know what it's gonna take. You know, it's gonna take a couple more you reporters, you host guys get hurt for you realize that wrestling is serious. You know.
Now wait a minute.
You know. That's right. Ooh, nothing. Guy got hurt last night.
All right, now wait a minute. Let me
tell you about the guy got hurt last night.
We're not going to talk about the guy.
No, I want to know. He was the host. He was the host. Told Hulk Hogan. First, I was out there first. He clowned around trying to make fun of Mr. T and joking all the time. He's silly. The guy have to be deranged. for the World Wrestling Federation champion. Gonna come out there, Hulk Hogan, 305 pounds, 6'8". Then come out there, put me in a wrestling hole. Show me a wrestling hole.
Well, see, I haven't said
so
that.
Hulk put him in a wrestling hole. He's in the hospital probably today.
Now, okay, now it's my turn to talk. Excuse me. That was him. That wasn't me. It was him. Now let me ask you a question. Hold on.
I'm trying to keep my composure. I told Vince McMahon was gonna come out here later. You know.
Yeah.
I said, look here, man. The guy gonna get out there and try to be telling a lot of jokes. I'm not in the mood for a lot of jokes. I'm very tired. I'm irritable, and I'm mean. I'm very snappy.
Well,
you know.
The perfect.
He said no. He said no. He said no. David gonna be all right. You know. So I said, all right now. I said, I might have to tear the desk up out there.
No, you're not going to tear anything up. Now, listen, I haven't said anything derogative about you or wrestling or anything. I do have a question. You said you came to New York. You don't have time to do TV shows. You're serious about wrestling. You're training, so on and so forth. The night before the big match, you and Mr. Hogan are going to be up all night doing a live television show. Now, how serious can you be?
That's very serious. That makes us very mean. You stay up all night long.
You'll be drowsy.
You said we'd be drowsy. You'd be drowsy, you'd be drinking or doing drugs. We don't drink, we don't smoke, we don't do drugs.
But you're going to be up all day. It's a very long day. You get up, you go in at 10, you stay all night.
We're going to take it out on our opponents.
Well, you know, you should be home resting. If you're really serious about this, you'd get a good night's sleep the night before. No. We have to do a commercial, and then we'll be right back with Mr. T.
Do you guys want to see part 2? Ty, you guys want to see part 2? See, a few more minutes. Why not? There we go. If I can get this to, there we go.
Back to the program, Mr. T is here. Later on tonight, we're going to go on a visit to the toy fair that they have. I guess it goes on all year long, but they have one special week or so when folks go down there, and we'll show you all of that. Rosanna Arquette is also here, and the voice of World Wrestling Federation, Mr. Vince McMahon, will be joining us later. Now, what do you do after the match?
Sorry,
you get some time off from your show. You get to go on vacation.
There's no rest for the weary.
He is here. Later on today, we're going to go on a visit to the. Now, what does that mean exactly? What will you be doing instead of a vacation? Because the show is now finished for the season. You have the wrestling match, and then I would guess normally you don't go back until middle of the summer, right?
Probably.
Yeah. So what will you do? What will you do with your time? If you're not going on vacation, what are you going to do?
I don't know what I might do.
Do you fish? I fish. You and I were on a show together in New Orleans. Remember that? New Orleans? It's a beautiful city. Did you have a chance to spend any time in New Orleans? You can't be steamed at me. Are you really steamed at me? Have I ever really upset you? Come on. You're angry with me, actually?
I should be resting right now, you know, in my room.
Now, wait a minute. Let's. I know you should. You. Let me ask you about the equipment.
No, hold it, Dave. We got a smart guy in the audience. You know, he's very smart. See, he must don't think it's serious. You better tell him, David.
It's serious. Believe me.
I know. It's a jerk. You know. Because I'll go up in that stand and hurt that guy.
No,
seriously.
Seriously.
No, seriously. That's the type of move I'm in, you know.
No, see,
if you want to play games, you better get some toys. Don't play with me, brother. Because I will hurt you.
Which is pretty much the same speech Bill Wendell gives them when they come in here, and I don't know why. But see, I know, I have a feeling, although...
Better get some better chairs.
Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm all right. Just got a cheap chair.
Yeah. Would you like it done in the same color? Put that back over there. Well, this has deteriorated to nonsense even faster than I had planned, but Anyway, I want to thank you for taking the time to be here, Mr. T. And I just have a feeling in my heart that you're not as exacerbated as you appear to be.
I want you to use street talk, because I'm a street brother. I don't understand all the big words, because I say very few words on the 18. I don't shut up fools, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I don't know what you're saying. Maybe the audience might know it because they probably went to Princeton or Yale, but
I'm not even sure what I said. No, I think that you're probably not as angry as you appear to be. I think this is a facade.
No, this is not no facade, because I've been dieting, I've been training, I lost a lot of weight.
No, I'm not talking about the wrestling. I know you're serious about that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's all on my mind right now. It's March 31st. That's all on my mind, because you can get hurt. If I don't know what I'm doing out there, I can get hurt. I can break my arm, get a busted lip, or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't plan to get hurt.
Well, no.
I don't want to get hurt.
No, because you've got a lot to risk there.
Well,
you have a career.
Regardless, I've got a lot to risk. I just don't like getting hurt. I like giving out pain, but I don't like receiving it.
Mm-hmm. All the best to you. And if you ever do want to go fishing, nice to see you again. And good luck, and I hope you don't get hurt. All right? Oh, come on. Say thanks, Dave. Come on. Just say thanks, Dave. It was fun being here. It was fun being here. A little one? Thanks, Dave. All right. The one, the only, Mr. T, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back following station identification.
So, yeah, I don't know how we got to this. Oh, Rocky 3. Also, check out the first time he was on. That one was also awkward, but this one got really awkward. I don't think Mr. T ever went back on Letterman, ever after that. I've tried to find out. He's never been on Letterman.
I can't believe that's real.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And here's the funny thing. They're talking about WrestleMania because that was the first one, and WrestleMania is like such a huge thing now. It's a huge franchise. It's almost, I think, after the Super Bowl, it's like the second biggest thing in America in terms of generating revenue is WrestleMania week.
Wait,
that was the very first one.
First WrestleMania.
Yeah. They had Mr. T come on to help Hulk Hogan to help generate, because Mr. T was very popular at the time because of the A-Team. So they had this angle that and celebrities being in wrestling is not a new thing. So him and Mr. Hulk Hogan were going to fight the bad guys, Roddy Piper and all that. And so, he helped make it a success because now people wanted to see Mr. T. Non-wrestling fans are like, wait, we want to see Mr. T fight. And back then, there was enough of a, I guess you could say, smokescreen where people weren't sure if it was real or not. They had heard it was fake, but then, they were like, well, no one knew the inside story back then. So enough people believed that wrestling was real, that, and back then you stayed in character. So to answer your question, integrity, I think he's kind of staying in character. That's why Dave said to him, like, I think you may not be as exacerbated as you seem, but Mr. T, I think, didn't want to be there. If you watch the interview from a couple of years ago when he first started on the A-Team, he's not happy to be there. He doesn't want to be there. I think he knows that Dave's probably going to say something smart, but I think I don't know if he's, because here's the thing, he's been on Conan a couple of times, Mr. T, and they get along perfectly. Like, Conan loves Mr. T, and Mr. T loves Conan. It's like a complete 180 of like what you just saw here.
Right.
But it was that was him.
Crazy.
So like, and I think Rocky 3 had come out like 2 years before that. So like he had that image, like I'll be the tough guy, I pity the fool, So.
Right.
But that was Rocky 3. Now I feel like watching Rocky 3.
That was fun.
Yeah, that was fun. So, Ty, what do we got coming up this week?
This week? I'm just waiting for my computer to get back. I'll be doing a show Saturday with some folks.
Okay.
And that's pretty much what I know right now.
Yeah.
Once I get my computer back, my actual computer back, then we'll be back to like a more, solid set schedule.
Yeah. And I think without spoiling too much, you have a lot of stuff planned for the month of October. Am I right? Some big interviews coming up. Yeah.
I do. Yeah, I do.
And exciting. And Austin is taken by the Chinese again, as Prakash noted. But I do keep Austin in your prayers. Hopefully he'll be back on Monday. We hope, fingers crossed. It's exciting times. there's so much content coming out. They just announced the Book of Fett, a release date of December 29th, I believe. The Book of Boba Fett.
Or the 22nd.
Or the 22nd. Okay. Oh, that's I'm reading the 29th. 22nd is The Matrix.
Okay,
I am not watching at home. I'm going to go to see that in IMAX or X Plus. That'll be worth watching.
Sure.
What I liked about the action of that, it didn't look very fake. You know, a lot of times it looks really fake. Sometimes the CGI, it looked really good.
It does look good. I can't wait.
I can't wait to see that. And I'm kind of curious what the story is.
Me too.
Is that actually Neo? Because there's a scene where he's looking in the mirror and his face distorts. I'm like, maybe it's not actually Neo. Or maybe Neo's trapped in someone else's body. Like, you know what I mean? Because maybe, spoiler alert, he died at the end of the third film. Maybe his mind is now like in the Matrix, like sort of like a ghost in a machine type thing, you know?
Right.
But I'm kind of curious what they have. That's my theory, you know. But maybe he's not who he is, or maybe he is. He's trapped. Maybe the way the machines were able to stop him is to like put him in a mind that's blank. And I'm curious who the new the Lawrence.
Yeah, no, that's a good theory though.
Morpheus, yeah, maybe. But yeah, folks. So we have a lot coming up this month. Please make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And also hit the notification bell. Oh, Ty, question. Is it too late for the September giveaway? Can people still become members?
Yeah, up until midnight tonight.
All right, folks. So you heard it.
Tomorrow's the 1st, right?
Tomorrow's the 1st. Yep.
Yeah. So once it turns into the 1st of October, the contest thingy is over, and then on this Saturday's podcast, I'll announce the 2 winners.
All right, so here you heard it. If you want a chance to win a copy of Zack Snyder's Justice League on Blu-ray, and folks, don't tell me you got it on HBO Max. Physical copy looks better. This weekend, I might go buy the box set from Best Buy of Zack Snyder's trilogy. I might do that. Well, I got to go to Quizzo, but I might do that. There's actually a Best Buy on the way. Maybe I will. But folks, I want to thank you guys for being here. I know Newsweek has been kind of slow, but we really appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
Every dime you give, whether it's a super chat, whether you're a member, or whether just sharing or retweeting the show and tagging a couple of your friends, it helps us grow. We've seen great growth in 1 year, and I think year 2 is going to be even bigger. Because remember, folks, we do it for you, and we do it for the